其实我从 Preseason 第1年的时候就有在看，那时候其实从没有想过高雄会有自己的一支球队。那其实 Preseason 的出现，其实已经对台湾整个职业篮球是一件很好的事情，也对那些爱打篮球的比较年轻的同学啦、学生他们的未来多了一个机会。那现在还有更健全的北中南都有球队的话，我觉得它是变成是一个很好的产业，它也是真的能称得上所谓的叫做职业。那更何况今天还有来到我们凤山，主场就在这里钢铁人，那我也是很开心，因为我已经看篮球这么久了，你从来没有想过自己的城市会有自己代表的球队，那我会觉得说一定去支持钢铁人，然后到体育馆去支持，我们入场去看，然后帮钢铁人加油。
当然，因为球季快开始打了，然后当然自己是希望可以跟上大家的脚步，然后跟上职业球队的 DJ 的脚步，然后把这个工作把它做好。当然这种事情是需要努力的，那我也就尽力而为，全力以赴。
其实说真的，高雄是一个很热爱运动的城市。那不管今天的环境是怎么样，我们还是坚持我们所热爱的，然后持续的去努力前进，推动它这样子。喜爱篮球，甚至是热爱篮球的人，听到说高雄要成立这个运动的时候，大家是非常的期待，而且是到处的跟朋友讲说，我们所热爱的运动现在在高雄要发展起来。那当然就是准备好，我们准备好了，然后就是只要一有活动一呼，我们就一起准备，一起出发这样子。
我们在主场的赛事一定会带给观众完完全全属于主场的氛围，不管是音乐或是我们的播报，我们的气氛会完完全全属于我们高雄钢铁人的一个氛围，给我们的高雄的荣情。
高雄钢铁人，我们来了，一来一次不三见。
钢铁人，加油
！11月13、14号，高雄钢铁人凤山体育场，我们主场见。
发现底线，看吧看这人间的公对，A1不朽部队的极限 ，IQ 们的比斗的剑与雷，要划过海面，形成无敌舰队。对方我的时间，我的命，我的心血，几个人几个钱，我并不一线，我脱离驾驶座，让神经在线，旭日突破地面，照耀是我的脸。就算是残兵败将，我不会否认。现在的扭转局势，你不敢承认，把希望存活下来，让美梦成真。花园时代的领袖来加冕成神。开day，明天回天，开day，明天回天，都出来面对，看是有什么亏欠，纠缠着你在局面逆转之前。开day，明天回天，开day，明天回天，开day，明天回天，开day，明天回天，开day，明天回天，开day，明天回天，开day，明天回天，开day，明天回天。
今天的精彩赛事即将开始，请两队的球员呢先回到休息区，谢谢。
你们都说我已经没有力气，你们都说那些造骂人的道理，彼时的风景我都还记忆，等待着重新来过逆袭的甜蜜，从来都不需要去彰显我们的过往，因为我们知道这个 城市协议的骄傲，没有人的道路上看了一大堆的嘲笑。我知道前方道路充满唏嘘又迷惘，背后是一道一道深不见骨的阴霾。血肉万光喷向眼前看不到的前方，就让这件事毁天有命的力量，毁天有命的力量。太监逆天我天，太监逆天我天，太监逆天我天，太监逆天我天，太监逆天我天，太监逆天我天，太监逆天我天，太监逆天我天，太监。不管有多少的风浪，你也为天七十四线，你也为天的七神地界。不管有多少的迷惘，你也为天七十四线，你也为天的七神地界。
我们有请双方球员可以先回到休息区，谢谢。P.LEAGUE 联盟热身赛第二天的赛事即将要开始，我们也请所有的球迷呢可以回到你的座位上来准备为第一场赛事的两方的球员来为他们加油打气。
我不好接近，而且还很有脾气，说不透明，也不能被看清。我就是任性，今天心情很不定，我不想玩手机，因为会分散我。
非常高兴大家来到我们高雄钢铁人热身赛主场凤山体育馆，我是今天的 MC 暴龙。距离我们第二季 P.LEAGUE 联盟的例行赛呢不到1个月时间，而今天第二天的热身赛赛事呢将有2场的精彩赛事，相信各位球迷呢也非常期待今天的比赛。今天将会2队职业球员呢，一支球队首度到凤山体育馆比赛，这都是高雄人最具历史性的一刻。今天是我们热身赛第2天，精彩的赛事将在稍后开战。在比赛开始之前，也要先为大家介绍所有支持高雄钢铁的相关单位。首先介绍我们的指导单位，教育部体育署、中华民国篮球协会。接下来为大家介绍我们的赞助伙伴，曼代马联、摩曼顿、UNIS、高雄长庚纪念医院、联上集团 Hotel Tour、MLD 台旅生活商场、金竹建设。谢谢所有的合作伙伴以及长官们莅临现场，有你们的支持才是往前推进的动力，也将成为我们高雄钢铁人最强而有力的手臂，一起推动整个台湾篮球。接下来为大家介绍今天的初赛队伍。首先为大家介绍是首度来到高雄，第一次在高雄亮相，身穿深色球衣的桃园领航员篮球队。5号施延中。6号关达佑，7号林耀宗，12号李家康，13号陈玉瑞，30号陈冠全，45号温立煌。接下来为大家介绍桃园领航员先发5人名单：3号老吴家俊，22号王宏翰，25号林正，28号施继尧，69号卢俊祥。总教练郑志龙，助理教练严行书，助理教练杨怡峰，助理教练柯焕伟，总经理陈信安。 紧接着为大家介绍是身穿浅色球衣的福尔摩沙台新梦想家，背号0号陈正杰，8号王正元，14号吴永胜，21号简浩，24号辛沃克，26号李德威，30号吴松蔚，97号郑子阳。接下来为大家介绍台新梦想家先发5的名单：7号陈立焕，11号林俊吉，18号杨胜燕，23号钱可宁，34号 Gilbert。总教练 Head Coach K.O. Julius、Assistant Coach Thomas、助理教练刘文和、助理教练赖柏林、总经理韩俊凯，请双方球员双方握手致意。我们现在请双方球员先在我们场上来张合影，留下来张大合照，一起所有的队职员以及教练呢可以到台上来张大合照，谢谢。好，我们请2队的球员呢，可以再后退一点，推到我们的 logo 圆圈后面，谢谢。谢谢。那么，请双方的队职员以及教练呢，也到我们前方来张合影留念。我们请梦想家以及来，谢谢龙哥。好，我们双方球员可以中间这个也是靠拢一点点。好，我们请看前方的摄影朋友、媒体朋友哦，谢谢。好，谢谢2队。那现在可以请双方球员进行最后的暖身。我们也欢迎今天的执法裁判赖建中、叶俊宏、洪世轩。
Everywhere we go, it's like game time. I need 2 goals at the same time. We don't even care what them lames rhyme. Smoking the seasoning, so don't waste time. Everywhere we go, it's like game time. I need 2 goals at the same time. We don't even care what them lames rhyme. Smoking the seasoning, so don't waste time. Like game time. At the same time. What them lames rhyme. So don't waste time. Like game time. Don't waste time. Anywhere we go, it's like game time.
开球，开球那边，对。
Ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth, today is the halfway mark of the Plus League preseason. It's day 2 of the Kaohsiung Stop, 2 games for you basketball lovers. Coming up, English broadcast by me, Ryan Chen, on play-by-play, and joining me for today's cast is Coach Benjamin Metcalf. Hey, Coach.
Hey, Ryan. Great to be here in Southern Taiwan for another great matchup.
First up this afternoon is the Taoyuan Pilots taking on the Formosa Taishin Dreamers. The Pilots played last week on the Sunday against the Lioneers. The Dreamers made their preseason debut yesterday against the home Steelers. Let's get into that and more as the broadcast goes on. On screen now is your Mandarin commentators, Cai Qingjing, Cai Bao, and Dai Jing Ding. That's James on the left. 球迷朋友们要收看中文的主播，球评的话就按中文的直播连接就可以了。这边就是我们的英文球评主播台。But Metcalf, we could do this in Mandarin if we had to.
Very, very important.
Anyways, here are some of the player movements during the offseason for the Taoyuan Pilots. On the left are the free agents. That's Bang Honghan Han and Chen Yirei. We call him Ray. Coming as free agents from the SBL, and 5 players from the Puyuan system. 2 years ago, Metcalf's players, but last year, under Coach Johnny, who's joined the coaching staff here with the Pilots.
Yeah, definitely had a very impressive debut for this Pilots team last week with a pretty big victory. We should see if they can keep it up this week.
For the Dreamers, one of the biggest changes is getting Calvin Chen Huan from a player free agent signing, whereas Amigo, their what we call 球队一哥, departing for the New Taipei Kings. There's the man, Calvin Chen Huan. As the players get onto the floor, on for our ceremonial tip. Brandon Gilbeck, number 34, scored in double digits, had double digits of rebounds as well. Unfortunately, also turned the ball over 11 times. Right now, the Pilot starters from top to bottom: Wu Jiazhun, Si Jinyao, Wu Juxiang, Wang Honghan, and Lin Zheng. last year rookie and still the youngest player in the league. For the Dreamers, Aji, Li Junji, Yang Seyon, Kenny Chen. We also have Calvin, of course, and Brandon Gilbeck rounding out the starting lineup.
As we said, Ryan, both teams with impressive performances in their first preseason game, and again, obviously the Dreamers still trying to work
好，我们
out
请现场球迷呢跟我一起倒数3、2、1，请拍手，我们今天比赛就只要正式开始了。好，3、2、1，请开球。谢谢。
Wang Ziyan, an executive at a local hospital here in Kaohsiung, who the Steelers are collaborating with. Did a good job. Everything's ready. We're ready to go. Dreamers control the tip. Achi's going to be directing traffic. Talking to Coach Kyle Julius during the league press conference, said Achi and Jeff Wu will be the ones kind of running the show for them. Gilbeck trying to get the ball back to Achi, had that one poked away, and here come the Pilots. Maybe it's because the preseason coach, but Ling Chen in to start the game. See how long he goes.
Yeah, you mentioned youngest player in the league, has had its moments, but unfortunately it's been foul trouble that's kind of dominated his time on the court. Good to see an opportunity here in the preseason.
Tough shot forced by Kenny, and Calvin finally comes up with it. An interesting note about the matchup of these two teams last season. A lot of really tight games. 4 in a row within 2 possessions, as there's a stop by Ling Chen.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Just a good job just being in the right place at the right time and going straight up, forcing that miss.
Way high off the backboard and out. Yu Jingxiang, number 69. Aji fires from the left side. Still scoreless. And there's a foul underneath. Huang Honghan.
And that's something that Gilbeck's going to have to learn. Again, we saw it there in that first possession where he had a turnover, but again, players in this league are going to be very physical. Honestly, the refs let them play very physical, especially when it's a local on an import. So again, these preseason games are important for him to just kind of figure out how the refs are calling the games. Just as much as it is to see how he fits in with his teammates.
Not a good start for the Dreamers, who have, is that 2 turnovers to only 1 shot attempt?
Yeah, Coach Julius can't be happy with that.
The Pilots in their motion. Wu Jiajun and Hayden won't go with that. So Sijiao fires from deep and knocks in the first 3 of the game.
And that's something that Han's going to give you. Again, he's able to take advantage of the mismatch in the post and find opportunities for other people. Really nice utility man. Good find for these Pilots over the offseason.
Handoff, Aji working with Gilbeck. Shot will go from the other side. That's no good from Calvin.
Nice help right there from the Pilots. Calvin just not able to make the open shot.
Almost an errant pass, but eventually a open shot for Xia.
This is what we saw the Pilots do last week. Again, up makes, misses, turnovers. They're going. Again, a couple nice opportunities in transition for the Pilots.
This time Gilbeck not posting up smaller Steelers, but instead receiving at the high post. Now down low, there's an easy bucket. Good find.
Again, starting out the game in the post, trying to create some opportunities that time. The last couple possessions had some good rolls, able to find position, get the nice finish in the lane.
Now the Dreamers show their zone defense. Another shot goes up off the mark. Meanwhile, loose ball foul.
He didn't make it 3 minutes without his first foul, Ryan, but again, that's one of those fouls from hustles we see. Gilbeck with a nice seal there in the post. Easy finish over this local lineup from the Pilots.
Speaking of the Pilots' fast pace, they out-rebounded the Lioneers, but 23 turnovers to 23 assists. a ratio that they want to improve on. There's a quick pass. Switching out, lays it in.
And that's guys who were teammates 2 years ago, just having great chemistry. You can see IL start to sprint from the other side of half court. Hayden with the perfect pass, easy layup in transition.
Trying to make space for Gilbeck. And had that one poked away. Pilots with numbers. Shan will fire from the right, in and out.
Yet another turnover for Gilbeck. That one probably on his teammate for not letting him go. Knows somebody's coming to steal.
Kenny with a nice behind the back and one at the hoop.
Again, great finish here for Kenny, evading the defense. When somebody's not afraid of contact, going right up and through, able to get the and one opportunity.
Talked to him in a preseason event. He said the offensive game is something he wants to work on, and saw it there. We'll go to our first break. Pilots and Dreamers in the Plus League preseason.
出来那个点投篮的时候，注意4号挂过来的可不可以给？啊，然后你提醒一下 Fix 的动位。
Stay in racer. Play the handoff action. Look at the high lows. You can seal. I want to run racer with some pace. I just fucking want to run it. Okay, let's go. Hey, right here, look, right here, pick up full. We're in man right here. But we're still in yellow, but on this one, I want man. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Randy, don't let him outrun you again. Let's go. Together, 1, 2, 3.
Next week, November 20th and 21st, for the third and final stop of the Plus League preseason tour, will take place at National Taiwan University Sports Center in Taipei. Get your tickets at Tixcraft when you search P.LEAGUE. So Kenny Chen at the line, 15 points last night on only 7 shots. He took 7 free throw attempts. One of those players, as Coach mentioned, not afraid of contact on either end of the floor.
And that's, you mentioned that he wants to work on his offense. That's something that he can definitely give. Again, a guy who can get to the line, a guy who gives you a physical presence. So we see Pump slipping into the lane. But again, if Kenny can start figuring out his role in his offense, it's going to open up a lot of things for these teams.
Now it's the Pilots' turn in their zone look. Some rotations going around. And a hand on the basketball. Dreamers a little stagnant there.
Yeah, we can see Coach Julius, as we see right here, Pump on with a little slip and then the nice finish over the Dreamers import. But again, going zone out of the timeout, threw the Dreamers off a little bit.
Team rebound by the Pilots. They're leading this one 10-4. IL around a downstream with a pump shoot the baseline J up the side of the backboard. Here come the Dreamers. Fouling transition. Calvin, Aji, Kenny, Yang Sun-Yan, and Gilbeck. Starts for the Dreamers. A few subs in for the Pilots, who play a lot of their rotation this preseason especially. There's Bill with a rebound.
A couple nice defensive possessions on that zone for the Pilots. They get a nice stop.
Nothing opens up for the pick and roll, so Pong Pong with a much smaller Yang Sun-Yan. Shoot a tough turnaround. Airballs it, but out of bounds. Off the Dreamers.
Yeah, Ryan, and that's where Pumpons just got to go to work. Again, Gilbeck sucked out to the perimeter. Nobody even close to Pumpong's height, not to mention his weight, even though he's lost 10 kg. But again, to be able to have to shoot a fadeaway against a guy a foot shorter is definitely not ideal.
Hayden cutting. Now it's Ray's turn for the mid-range, and it's all net. Had an up-and-down game in his Pilots preseason debut. Back again. That's the second time he's got a hand on the pass.
Sloppy start here for the Dreamers. Again, a couple turnovers and a handful of almost turnovers. See a lot of teams trying to work out their zones here in the preseason. We saw last week Fubong, as we see Ray with a nice buzzer beater. But again, this is the time to work out these things. Again, see where you guys fit. Again, trying to figure out if you're going to have Bill in the middle or Pong Pong in the middle for the Pilots.
Nice dish and one finish. Haji to Gilbeck.
Good job of getting into the lane, sucking in that defense from Bill, and then Pong Pong not able to help on the roll. And you see the nice dish. Pong Pong late on the rotation. Another nice finish in traffic.
Because of the free throws, we'll have to wait on the Plus League debut of Chen Ziyang, who's trying to come in for the Dreamers. Meanwhile, 3 subs in for the Pilots.
Very short rest there for Lin Zheng.
Maybe they're using him like a starter.
He's played well for the first 6 minutes of this game. He's somebody that they're trying to develop and somebody working their system. Obviously, you got to get him some time.
Trying to get open on the corner. Ray, they'll try to switch it. Ling Zhen with his mid-range. Way off the mark.
It's not the spot for these Pilots big. We've seen an air ball, hitting the side of the backboard.
He'll remain Pilots basketball, although the Dreamers, a lot of them indicating that they wanted to get another look at that one. Sideline out of bounds. Ling Zhen trying to put up the moves on.
That's just where Lin Zheng's just doing too much. Again, he's going to be a guy who's going to slip in there from that dunker spot, a guy who's going to be able to roll and get you a couple baskets, but you're really not going to want him to create any offense for you. Just the result is what we just had.
Jeff Wu driving, finding some space, and getting the foul on the drive.
Yeah, second time we've seen Pilots big get there a little bit too late, a little bit too high, really. If they get Jackie on the foul from behind. Jeff is somebody that not just Dreamers fans, but Taiwanese basketball fans are really excited to see. Obviously, somebody who's had high expectations for his entire career back in Taiwan this season. And, again, he can be a difference maker for this Dreamers team.
The 25-year-old makes his first free throw. Played in the mainland with the Shanghai team and the Xinjiang team in consecutive seasons. Makes both. Now the Dreamers down by 3. Expanding the zone a little bit more. Homo behind the back to Ray. His shot. Banks in.
Fancy pass there by Pong Pong, but we talked about hands, playmaking ability. That time able to get into the middle of the zone, go high-low. Again, just another playmaker on the floor for the Pilots.
And there's the first basket on the pick and roll by Zenzia.
Mentioned his debut. Again, just make it easy for your teammate. Get him on that roll, finish over the top, and then get sealed by Pong Pong in the lane on the way back.
The Plus League experience as we get another look at that from the baseline.
Pong Pong's been working on that pass for like 5 years. Finally had a chance to whip it out. Fortunately, his teammate banked it in for him.
Number 30, Wu Songwei will come in for Calvin. From the baseline, Jia Kang airballs it. Guards, forwards, and centers can't hit that baseline shot for them. Here come the Dreamers.
Oh, Ryan's been something about that spot? Were people making it from there yesterday?
Nice block from the weak side, but Chen Ziyang eventually leads to the Pilots going away on one end. And then committing the foul, so consecutive bad plays by Ray.
Just a shame because he came to the weak side, got the block, came back to the strong side, got the steal, but unfortunately, as we see the nice block there, sprinting over to the other side, getting the steal, and then coming up a little bit short on that dunk, Ryan? Is that a layup? It's a missed shot in the box score, which is all that really matters, I guess.
I'll write that down as a missed dunk. Try to give his ambition some credit.
Okay. It's still worth 0 points, though.
But coach, the commercial value.
That's true. Style points, right?
Now he helps for the rebound. Pong Pong will get credit for it.
And that's where, again, he's got to find a way to contribute to this Pilots team. Ray being the top scorer on his team previously in the SPL. And trying to find his spot in this Pilots team.
From the other side, Han off iron and almost. Oh, nice putback by Jung Xiao, but he'll have to pass it out. Pong Pong to the lane. Fouled on his way there.
And we can see Coach Julius getting Gilbeck in the game right away. Again, no real size other than the rookie out there for the Dreamers. Not a lot of rebounding. Another offensive rebound.
Not what we expected. Gilbeck came in for Kenny, and so our chance to explain that Chen Ziyang played college ball at Cultural University, was with the Yulong team in the SPL, but never came into the game. That's his free agency status here in the Plus League. And it'll be good depth for the Dreamers. Right now, Doe still rehabbing some nicks and bruises.
Sure, Derek is the happiest person in the world to see him come on the roster. Again, Dreamers bringing in a big this year as an import, getting Derek a little bit of a break, and again, to have some local talents to give them a little bit more flexibility is something I'm sure he welcomes.
A foot race, but to the wrong side of the floor. Pilots will set up in the half court. Jun Xiang had that one taken away. Here comes Jeff with a head of steam to the left side. Got it. Another and one opportunity for the Dreamers.
You said it, Ryan. Again, nice defensive possession by the Dreamers. Jun Xiang trying to drive into not a lot of space, and then again being able to finish through that contact. Another and one opportunities for the Dreamers.
Zijinao committed the foul, not the hot start he had when we saw him against the Lioneers.
If you could have a hot start like that every game, you probably wouldn't be playing in Taiwan. Probably in the NBA. Right?
You're here to hear first, guys. Zijinao.
If he plays like that every game, what did he have in the first half last week?
He had 15 in the first quarter, and I stopped counting.
So that's what, 60 for a game? So yeah.
Yeah, that'll do.
He can score 60 every game in the Plus League. He has a chance of going to the NBA.
Currently,
he has 5 points in the first quarter. We had 3.5 minutes left. Listening into Tony Zheng coach his team up.
要突的时候，他是非常坚决的，非常坚决的。他现在虽然两个大的，但我们还是先以守盯人为主。先以守盯人为主。然后 mismatch 的时候，在攻对方的时候要明确。既然你已经决定拉开了，那你就要弄到底了，否则那个时间不够。
You know it's coming at you in practice. So to be able to do these things against a live opponent is very valuable for both of these coaches.
I was listening in, and Tony reminding his guys that to be committed to attacking the mismatches, the Dreamers are often going to play 2 or even 3 of their smaller guards, and the Dreamers, only Wu Jiajing is really the undersized player for them.
Yeah, that's something defensively that'll come with time for the Dreamers. We all know that Coach Julius loves to use a lot of switching. Last year, by the end of the season, they did a great job just getting out of those mismatches, whether it was doubling or rotating from the weak side and then kicking out. They just did such a good job. Obviously this year with so many new teammates, again, 3 new guys on the court currently from the roster that they had last year. That's something that's going to take time. Again, it's going to be interesting with a big import this year too to see how much of that they go with.
The Dreamers with a little full court trapping action. Now back into their zone. From the corner, String Shao will get it.
And that's just such a tough responsibility for bigs to get out to the corner. Pompon doing a good job still in the middle, and Gilbeck trying to close out to the corner from the wing. Just a great rotation, or a great play right there out of the timeout for the Pilots.
And a little bit of a tussle, but out of bounds off the Pilots.
It'll be interesting to see how Coach Julius uses Gilbeck throughout the season. He's obviously a little bit slight of frame compared to some of these bigs here in the Plus League, so if he can hit mid-range jumpers like he just did there, if he's able to get by guys on the perimeter, and that's really going to be a nice weapon there for these Dreamers.
Corner, Stringstown looks off the shot.
Again, same play there, but different result with Jeff coming down.
Now we'll take the shot, and off the side of the backboard.
This is really not the Pilots' corner.
All the way from the corner, trying to show him how it's done. No. And Jeff Wu called for the foul, it seems.
And honestly, that's probably a good foul there, as the Pilots had leaked out. Io had gotten that pass out. That's a layup. But again, that's what these Dreamers want to do, play with pace, get those corner threes. Just got to make them now.
3 out, 2 in for the Pilots. And Sijinyao. Not yet, so Hong Han to the corner. Not yet, but there's Aya from the top. No problem for him.
Yeah, nice driving kick there. Pilots also starting their zone offense out of the post, able to swing it a couple times, moving the defense. Nice job right there.
Jeff clanks it. Gilbeck's there for the long rebound. We'll get a touch on the baseline, no? So Jay Chen did make a shot in yesterday's game. Try to put in a better effort. Gilbeck from the center, left.
We've seen him start in the post on some possessions. We've seen him at the top working the handoff game. It's going to be interesting to see where he finds his spot here.
Now in man defense, Ayao floated up, got it back, and a more shot to the right side.
Again, offensive rebounds there. Nice initial stop. Giving up 2 offensive points on the offensive rebound.
Left him alone, and Jeff knocks it down.
Great job by Gilbeck there on the roll. Not sure whether to stay with him or get back. Created that opening for Jeff.
Hong Kong from the corner. High archer, no. To the hoop, Kenny. Kind of blocked out Gilbeck there on the offensive end. Jasher Caden rolling the layup. 1 possession left. No, there will be a foul on the drive.
And that's where a missed layup on one end ends with another missed layup on the other end, and then a foul into the basket on the other end. Preseason basketball, Ryan. Preseason
basketball. Jackie, Lee Jiakong, and Ray will come in for presumably this last possession.
We've seen the Pilots use a very liberal substitution pattern here today. Again, getting everybody an opportunity. Trying to see at this point, I think only 3 guys haven't seen the court right now.
After the free throw, Dreamers down by 5. started the drive before the screen got set up, but the Dreamers had a foul to give.
And that's something where Jackie, the young point guard's got to recognize that. We know they're going to give up their foul. Start your possession a little bit early, give you a little bit more time. At this point, they're stuck with only 4 seconds on the shot clock. It's one of those 3 guys who hadn't gotten in the game in right now.
So Guan Dayo, Killer Kwan will come in from Pong Pong. Get another perimeter threat. Aya from way deep though. Breaks that one. So interesting sub and interesting shot selection, but coach, it's the preseason. We'll go to the second quarter break and back after this.
我们在赛后呢，在我们的今天第2场比赛，由高雄钢铁人出战我们台北富邦勇士的第2场赛后，有个签名会。那有到商品部购买商品的朋友呢，就可以领取到我们赛后签名会的号码牌。那这号码牌是在我们第2场赛事结束之后，赛后签名会来做我们的依据使用。所以请各位球迷一定要保管好你的号码牌。 另外，再次提醒各位，本场馆全面禁止饮食，只可以饮用水。如果你的水饮用完毕之后，再将口罩戴好，再麻烦大家务必配合，谢谢。哎呦，这位球迷非常的活泼，我们导播再 take 他一次，再给他跳一次的机会。 所以要扭动起来。对，我们现场球迷，如果我们导播可以得到你，可以拿着加油海报，让大家知道你是支持哪一队。这是领航员的球迷，给他掌声鼓励一下。欢迎来到我们凤山体育馆来支持你喜爱的球队。对，拿出你的加油看板。 哎，这位美女，陈立焕的球迷。OK， 这是我们梦想家的球迷。
Get the box scores, league merch, and more on the official website of the Plus League when you visit P.LEAGUEofficial.com. Yesterday we had a crowd of 4,125 here in Fengshan Stadium. Admittedly, coach, it's a little bit out of the way, but not impossible. As long as you have enough of that love for basketball.
Or if you have Uber, like I do.
After the double pin down, Lingsa will get a chance on Calvin. They'll go to the middle, get the shot up, and foul from the weak side. It looked like Gilbeck.
That's where we've seen Coach Julius on the sideline. We just saw Kenny reminding his teammate, just go straight up and down. Again, you've already forced him into a really tough shot. Again, really no need to come down with that left hand, get yourself in foul trouble. And that's something that is going to come with time. These imports got to be on the court to have an opportunity to contribute.
Linta knocks in the first free throw. Like we mentioned, started the game and only had that one off the mark baseline shot to show for it so far.
Again, that play out of the timeout, out of the quarter break shows the confidence that this coaching staff has. And again, putting the ball in his hands, having to make a play, not just for himself, but for others. Again, good signs for this young man.
Dreamers against the Pilot zone. Trying to whip the pass into an opening. Kenny down low is the opening. 2 points.
That's the second time against that zone. We've seen Phil get a little bit too high. Yeah, make him shoot that floater over. You don't let him have that easy layup on the basket.
They're leaving that baseline open. Bill's in the corner. To Ray. The trap Jingxiang. Do a good job at it, who flings up a wild shot for the shot clock violation.
That's just where we see the lack of playmaking ability on the court really hurt these Pilots. Again, regardless whether it's Lin Zheng, as we see. We said Bill getting up there, Kenny being able to sneak behind the defense.
Talk about interesting lineups. Lin Zheng's the only Plus League player from last season and joined by 4 SPL guys. There's an errant pass.
Another turnover there for the Dreamers, but again, like you said, we got one quote-unquote Plus League vet there for the Pilots. Who's going to make your plays for you, especially against the zone? And as I say that, they go back to back.
Is there any time where defensive scheme will just alternate automatically? Nice block by Gilbeck, but a foul, it looks like on a loose ball.
Yeah, there's definitely some plays where, as we see Gilbeck getting up, able to challenge that shot, and that's something that he's going to be able to give you. Hopefully he's been able to defend from the perimeter out under the basket. Getting back to your point, Ryan, there's some plays that defenses will automatically go into a zone depending on what the offense is running. But again, this early in the preseason, it may be a little too early to expect to see some of that from these teams.
Driving the lane, floating it up, no good from Jackie.
Nice box out there from Penny.
Now Calvin from the corner, he fires, front iron, and off of a Pilot.
We saw the same thing happen on the other end for the Dreamers. With 2 bigs down there, it's really tough for them to get out to that corner. Fortunately for the Pilots, Calvin not able to hit that corner 3.
Hey, speaking of alternating strategies, there's a shot by Jeff, and Achi get it. So speaking of alternating strategies, at TAS we played this game called Priest of the Parish. I think I should ask Doug about that. He also went to TAS. Calvin from the corner, no. Gilbeck.
Another offensive rebound against that Pilot zone. It'll be interesting to see how long this experiment goes on for them.
They pull it to within 3, and there's a turnover and chance for the Dreamers to run. Calvin with the the Pilot underneath, excuse me. I think that's Jackie.
Interesting to see this replay, as it looked like Jackie had pretty good position, but again, Gilbeck getting his hands on an offensive rebound, able to finish. And again, that's exactly what you need from your import, just being able to dominate the paint, especially against an all-local offense or opponents.
Pilots in a scramble. You can also see Kenny jumping through down the middle.
You're going to tell us the rules to, what is it, Priest in the Parish, Parish in the Priest?
Yes, so Priest of the Parish.
Okay, take notes, everybody.
Right. So it's a kind of a call and response game where the objective is, as a group, to succeed until you get to the front of the line. And so we played that in school at TAS as a what do we call it, Camp Taiwan game.
I think you're speaking to an audience of only TAS members.
Well, yeah, you never know, Coach.
We're still not halfway through the preseason games yet. We shouldn't be getting this deep into our content barrel.
Green, and Jackie will shoot the elbow, Jay. Got it.
Yeah, nice read right there by Jackie. Dreamers, knowing what play was coming up, jumping to eye out, coming out of the corner. That time making a play for himself.
Now a deep shot from Aji. He rattles it home.
Yeah, and that's something that the Pilots are going to have to examine, how they're going to defend that pick and roll. Again, regardless whether it's zone or offense, you can't let Aji have that much room coming off the screen. Great shot by the inside.
Stitching out with the screen. I'll throw it off the back of the backboard.
Nice job there by Gilbert, just staying in front. Again, if he's going to shoot it off 1 foot over you, coming from that corner that the Pilots can't shoot from, so be it. But again, good job there, just taking away his room and forcing that turnover.
Mentioned Jianhao Doug getting what we assume is going to be a day off. He's in street clothes. Gilbeck played 33 minutes yesterday with his teammates for the first time. Kind of commits the pushing foul.
Yeah, but Doug's what? Is he 40 yet, Ryan?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. He's a veteran, somebody who's played in Taiwan for about 100 years. So, again, he's, as you see that, him paying attention behind his coach right there. But again, we talked about Gilbeck being, what, 24, somebody who hasn't really played in Taiwan before, somebody who needs to understand how Taiwanese players play, how these Taiwanese refs ref, and how these Taiwanese fans cheer for the opponents.
Chen Ziyang commits the offensive foul, trying to screen for a teammate. He's 25 years old. Doug, he's 36, so, I mean, I think we were in New Taipei, right? 36 rounds up to 100.
Again, rounding up to the nearest 100, that's 100.
A couple Dreamers left behind, but Kenny's free for the shot.
Yeah, I for about the third time this game, trying to get up there, stop a fast break. Got a piece of Aji.
Hayden will come in number 3. And so will Yang Sen-yen. We have a tie game with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. This time Su Jingyao will get on the baseline and commit the offensive foul.
He was right away, tried to go with that quick spin. Got a little bit of Aji's face. She's got a lot of Aji's face. It's something where these Dreamers know that they're going to get attacked on these mismatches, regardless who it is, and they're ready for it, both individually and game plan wise. It's maybe not wearing a helmet wise.
Calvin, after the handoff, floated up and in.
That's where the youngster there, just solid screen, great roll, creating confusion for the defense, allowing his teammates to get a layup.
Aaron pass by Pompom, right to a Dreamer. Kenny with a nice move. Not quite the finish though. Calvin, another flip shot up and in.
But tale of 2 quarters so far. Again, right here in this second quarter, Dreamers getting out on the break, getting to the offensive glass. Looks like what the Pilots were doing in the first quarter.
We'll go to a break and back with the action after this.
太给你们方便了是吧？
暂停时间到。
Still in their huddles. Pilots taking on the Dreamers. Game 5 of the Plus League preseason before the regular season kicks off December 4th in Taipei.
It's still a lot of things to work on for both these teams. It's only the second preseason game for both of them, but again, definitely things for both coaches to build off of. And you've been practicing against yourself and trying to working things out in your minds, and now after these games, they know exactly what they have to work on.
Consecutive baskets by Calvin brings his point total to 6. The Dreamers had 5 guys scoring in double digits in yesterday's contest. A positive sign for them. But like Coach, you said, it's the preseason, so it won't be quite the same as when the action really goes down. There's a corner made shot by Jackie. See that? That's the thing. You just got to pull it out to 3, and maybe it makes it easier.
Exactly. You can tell their coaching staff that at halftime. But once again, we see Han getting into the middle of that zone, That time, another great read, kicking it to Jackie in the corner. Again, he's just somebody who's able to make plays, and great signing for these Pilots this summer.
To the other corner, where Calvin commits the grabbing foul. Holding foul of that nature.
Again, Zihan with the nice pass fake, sucking the defense in, and then kicking it to Jackie. Was able to hit that corner three.
Speaking of scrimmaging, there's an inside pass. Pong can finish.
But once again, the substitution by these Pilots. Coach Tony able to get hand in the middle of that zone, paying off in 2 consecutive possessions. Great read again, perfect pass. Nice layup by Pong.
Once again, it's Chen Ziyang to Calvin. But the Pilots cover that one, no problem. Kenny trying to put on the moves, goes left. Runs into Pong, and the basketball flies out of bounds.
And that's what we talked about earlier. Again, Kenny working on his offensive game, but again, just trying to keep it simple. He's really not somebody that Coach Julius wants to go one-on-one. Again, he's more somebody who's going to be a cutter, being able to finish in transition, get to the line, get onto the offensive glass and create. But, again, that's something that probably not his strong suit right there.
Well, speaking of playmakers, as we see some longtime national team guys in Beast and Liu Zhenlu hanging out nearby. So the Pilots traded away Angry Bird and Peng Junyan to the Steelers, who we saw yesterday. Well, bringing up Wu Jiajun, if you can call it that. He was second in the SBL with 4.9 assists per game. So in production-wise, kind of a one-to-one trade-off there.
Yeah, offensively, again, both guards were going to push the pace. Nice playmakers. Hayden been working on his three-point shot, whereas Angry may be a little bit more streaky. But again, the only thing you worry about is defensively, where Hayden's a little bit slighter of frame than Angry is. Angry's able to defend probably 1 through 3, and Hayden really he'll defend the 1 and the 1, and that's about it. So again, just different ways to move this roster. Is we see Chen there. This Pilots, they decided to sign a point guard as one of their imports for this upcoming season. So that's someone where maybe you don't need to rely on Hayden quite as much as you would have in the past.
Last season, Huang Honghan only averaged 2 assists per game as a forward.
It's really something that depends where the coach is going to put him. Here they put him in a position to make a lot of plays. We said earlier, just a very bad turnover there by Pong, but a very versatile player who's able to play 1 through 4. Nice stop there in transition, but he's somebody who'll do whatever the coach needs you to do. And again, a nice piece for this Pilots team.
Challenge at the rim, and Kenny was slow to get up. Meanwhile, the Pilots able to get a bucket on this side.
Again, Kenny just upset, no foul called right there. But again, probably a little bit of a foul coming down. But again, that first half of the action is something that these Taiwanese refs aren't going to call a foul. Again, if you go up, put your hands up, they typically don't call that foul.
Few substitutions for both teams, notably Wang Zhengyuan coming in the game. He played 3 minutes in yesterday's contest. Pick and roll action. Yang Sun-yen, his jump shot is good.
Yeah, again, we've seen that middle pick and roll creating a little bit of an issue for these Pilots. We saw Aji get free on that same pick and roll action. This time, Yang Sun-yen, the same result.
Bill in the corner for a side screen that doesn't result in a made shot. Yang Sun-yen, only 19% from beyond the arc last season, 2 for 6 yesterday. Definitely an area he wants to improve. A little opportunity, missed layup.
And that's just a shot Brandon's got to make. Again, over locals, easy roll.
Got the foul on Bill that time.
Yeah, nice job sticking with the play after that first initial miss. That time is, again, we saw Ray being a little bit late on that rotation last week. Same thing there. But again, we still feel, even though he thought he was up, straight up and down, again, little contact with that right arm there.
What did you say? Players never foul, Coach?
My players never foul.
Oh, right.
The opponent, every play. But if you ask a player, they've never fouled.
They never foul.
In their life.
1 for 2 from the line, so 1 point lead for the Dreamers. Got an interesting flexing action with Longsinger coming through the middle. I guess it's a matchup zone. Jackie will fire too strong.
Again, Coach Julius put in a lot of different zone looks, maybe going back into man. They stay in zone. It's something that's tough for opposing teams to figure out how to run their offense.
From the corner this time, Taoyuan too strong. Bill gives up the mid-range shot for Ray's pull-up. No good. One more Pilots possession. We're under 4 minutes to play. Cold shooting by the Pilots as Aya misses a mid-range.
Yeah, see, Ryan, if he had 15 points in that quarter, I would have sent his tape right to Adam Silver, but struggling a little bit here down in Gausha.
Gilbeck with push shot, yes.
And again, that's something that we've seen these Dreamers do. Their bigs do a great job rolling, creating opportunities. That time, able to find Gilbeck on the roll, a nice little push shot from the mid-range.
Curiously enough, they have Taoyuan in the middle of their zone. Aya will fire, bouncing 3 doinks and out. So by my count, Coach, that's 5 missed shots in a row. Chance for the Dreamers as Jeff covered there by Jackie. Baseline, Jason, no good. Now from the corner. I feel like I got to practice all my missed shot calls here.
Well, the Pilots are certainly giving you an opportunity. Again, getting some good looks, moving the ball pretty well, just not able to hit anything here in this second quarter.
Is that a 5 of 5 down? No, 4 new Pilots in. Ray, the only current member on the floor.
Yeah, nice call right there by the ref, able to see that hook that most of these Taiwanese guards use when they're getting in there for their offensive rebounds. This time putting the youngster to the line for 2 shots.
Interesting note about Taoyuan, he was a swimmer before making it onto the basketball team. 1 for 2 from the line. Bington left alone, his second attempt off iron.
Yeah, we've seen when anybody other than Hans in the game for these Pilots really struggle against the Dreamers defense.
Now they're looking for Gilbeck on the post this time. Swings the middle, that's his favorite move. We'll get another chance. Jeff Wu's chance to shine, working on a pick. Taoyuan to Hayden, out of bounds, 1.6 left for the Dreamers on this possession.
Yeah, good rotation there as we see Gilbeck once again getting into it with some of these local players. And again, that's just something he's got to figure out. Again, when you're an import in Asia, everybody's going to be going after you. Again, their arms get entangled. Again, Lou with the push, technical foul, but again, you're more valuable to your team on the court than you are off the court. So again, it's something that comes with age, something that comes with experience, something that comes from from teammates talking to you, and again, hopefully we'll get a chance to see him on the court more than off.
There was a lot of cases of arm entanglements, I remember, Coach, to begin last season. I don't want to use a particular, shall we say, infectious noun or adjective.
It's, again, there's a huge hand battle there that goes on in basketball. And that's some of the stuff that, unless you're shooting a shot, the refs usually don't call. And that's something where the vets know when to get away with it, how to get away with it, which refs will let you get away with it. It's just something that some of the other guys need to figure out.
Missed shot by Calvin, but the good hustle by his teammates will be an extra possession as Aya will come in.
It'll be interesting to see how some of these other imports figure out these Taiwanese refs. Again, it's definitely a different game. Foreign coaches, foreign players, definitely, it takes a little bit to figure it out. But again, there's definitely ways to manipulate the game. So we've seen some of the guys come in and struggle a little bit in their first couple games. It's just a matter of who can adjust the quickest, who can adjust the best, and find out how to contribute.
Turnover out of bounds leads to a pom-pom lay-in on this end.
Well, once again, Hand getting in the game, able to catch it deep below the free throw line. Easy little dump pass to Pom-Pom, who lays it in for 2.
Jason getting in trouble and will be called for the kick ball. Kind of interesting call there.
Not a lot of space there, but again, we see Hand getting the ball in the middle of that zone defense, sucking up the big. Calvin not able to dig in there. Pom-Pom able to sneak in for the easy layup.
We haven't seen Lin Yaozong and Shi Yanzong. They're sitting on the sidelines, the Pilots bench. Jungxiang to Hayden, back to Jungxiang from top. There's Han with a rebound.
Not a lot of cracking back from help from these guards on the Dreamers. A lot of offensive rebounds when Gilbert's not in the game.
Things just keep getting worse from a shooting perspective. So Jason swirling that one out, keeping us stuck in this malaise offensively. Calvin not giving it up, finds an crease. To Ziyang, off to the left. Maybe the fast break is the magic. Si Jinyao can only play dodgeball with Yang Sen-yin on the baseline.
Yeah, nice reaction there by Ayao off a touchy pass there in the fast break. Able to retain possession for these Pilots who make some subs for their last possession.
Might be a little bit forgivable. There's a combined 18 turnovers and 23 fouls between these two teams in the first half. Hayden will fire from 3. And the cold hands are everyone, as Yang Sen-yin's half-court shot also misses the mark. Well, big time thanks to our fans hanging in this one. We'll bring you the halftime analysis after a break.
防疫政策，防疫期间预防特殊传染性肺炎，我们在入场时皆需佩戴口罩，以及配合工作人员量测体温做手部清洁消毒，并且落实实名制。另外也提醒各位，体育场馆内是全面禁止饮食。我们除了喝饮用水、矿泉水之外，才可以脱下口罩。饮用水完毕之后，也请您立即将口罩戴上。另外出入公共场合后，也请用肥皂勤洗手。如有发烧等身体不适状况，请尽速就医并在家休息。 那目前中场的休息时间，我们所有球迷朋友可以到我们的环廊的游戏区以及商品部啊，我们这边呢，商品部也有购买我们的高雄钢铁人的商品。另外呢，我们今天也有举办我们的赛后签名会，是我们高雄钢铁人出战台北富邦勇士第2场赛事结束之后的赛后签名会。您只需要在商品部购买任意商品，就可以获得我们赛后签名会的号码牌。我们也请所有球迷呢，妥善保管自己的号码牌。在赛后签名会之后，我们会将号码牌做回收，这部分要请各位球迷再务必注意一下，谢谢。
remember all the good times. I can still feel you. Oh, oh, oh. And when I close my eyes at night, I only dream about you. Oh, oh, oh. And after all that was said, it was a hard pill to swallow. I was singing by your thread. You couldn't promise me tomorrow. I'm trying to hold on. You push me to the edge. You got me feeling so lost, but I'll never let you down. 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 I'll never let you down.
Better than I do. Halftime here in Fengshan Stadium, where the Dreamers lead the Pilots now by 3 points, and what Coach described as kind of the flip of the narrative first to second quarter. What kind of was going wrong for the Pilots in a sense?
As we see the stats right there, just a rough shooting performance there for the Pilots, both from the two-point range and from behind the arc, really mostly in that second quarter line.
On the other side for the Dreamers, also rotating about 10 players now. They're trying to find their roles and also see who's really got the toughness that Coach Julius is always describing. They're changing from zone to man, and a lot of individual accountability that they needed to show off in this preseason.
And it's something where obviously they're going to shoot more three-pointers than the opponent. If they shoot a good percentage, they're going to have a good chance of winning the game. And they ended up out-rebounding the Pilots by 2 overall, and so kind of solve some of those issues. But again, up and down game throughout the first half, which is exactly what you expect with increased rosters, increased rotations, and preseason.
I'm kind of curious to ask you, Coach, how important is it to have somebody like Ike on your team, who maybe a veteran guy who will lead the offense and be counted on for crucial moments, or is that overrated basketball lingo?
It kind of depends on your team. Again, some teams know who Ike is. Some teams are really just a more democratic offensive system where you're just going to find the open guy. Obviously, the interesting part now is with the imports haven't stepped on the court for the Dreamers yet. I'm sure that they're probably have their import as their top guy to go to in those winning times. So right now it's trying to figure out what everybody else's role is and kind of prove that all that stuff you've worked on in the summer, hey, you had some results and the coach is going to use you a little bit more during the regular season.
Coach Ryan Marchand talked about getting film on the guys, but also an interesting idea that I wonder if, Coach, you were doing as a coach is lineup constructions and lineup efficiencies. Recently on Instagram, this account called GC Basket was publishing the best lineups offensively and defensively. We'll talk about that and more after the break.
耍小任性。哦，我今天的心情很不定，不想滑手机，因为会分散我的注意力。看你都没关系，都不要紧。你说这个游戏到底让人腻不腻？假装不在意，假装不确定，反正有人主动说给我听，我在听，都没关系，都不要紧。这个让人反胃的事情腻不腻？可以再干净，可以再远离，反正你应该会发现这动机真不想听。喂，真不想听。到底要这样多久？闹够了没？哎，你的脾气真的很牛哎。好了好了，再闹下去没人要理你喽。唉，该改一改了吧？知道吗？很有关系，看不透气，别是自己都快要不能够呼吸。不要当你也不想真的透明，就让发生的后悔也不能流露气息，就让发生的后悔也不能，我不想听。
The Plus League season has 10 Friday games, 36 Saturday games, 40 Sunday games, and 4 Monday games. Come experience for yourself the exhilaration. Ticket information on the team pages of the Plus League website, pleagueofficial.com. Looking at the top scorers for the Pilots, Si Jinyao is their #1 guy. He's got 12 points, and Peng Peng's 7. Wu Junxiang is 6 points, and Jia Kang with 5, and Chen Yurei with 5 as well. Coach mentions the democratic nature of their offense. They're certainly showing up with additional players from the Taoyuan system.
And as you mentioned, with that system, you can kind of rely on that to create some scoring opportunities. Again, other than IL, pretty much everybody else's scoring opportunities have come in the flow of the offense.
Meanwhile, for the Dreamers, Brennan Gilbeck leads them with 10 points, and Calvin with 7, Jeff with 7, Yang Seung-yin with 5 and 4 for Kenny Chen. The Dreamers are kind of varying up their tempos, sometimes going hard to the basket, sometimes going on the perimeter. It gets it's nice to have that flexibility.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that this lineup or this roster allows Coach Julius to do. And over the past couple of years, they've brought up some nice players and signed some good guys. So really, they're probably one of the top 3 teams here in the Plus League as far as local talent. You know that they've been very import reliant in the past, but now it looks like they're going to have a A lot of good locals here can contribute to the win.
Now, we'll go to one last break before the second half.
飞上去，一朵朵纯净的白云，飞上去，飞上去，带着行李到处去，飞上去，飞上去，到处都有你的风景，飞上去，飞上去，我们一起去旅行。
好的，第二节比赛呢，在3分钟之后就要正式开始了。请现场球迷呢，如果要观看精彩比赛，可以尽速回到你的座位区。
飞上去，飞上去，一朵朵纯净的白云，飞上去，飞上去，带着行李到处去，飞上去，飞上去，到处都有你的风景，飞上去，飞上去，我们一起去旅行。一起去旅行。
Thank you, fans, for tuning into the English broadcast of the Plus League preseason. Click on the like button and let my bosses know that myself and Coach Ben are doing a decent to good to excellent job, everybody.
Just excellent. What's our like target for this game?
Let's set it at 116.
116. All right, if we make it, all of our fans get.
Let's get them all ice cream.
Okay, you can go to 7-Eleven, buy yourselves ice cream.
Coming up in the afternoon, evening will be the Taipei Fulan Braves taking on the home Kaohsiung Steelers. That will be right here, Kaohsiung Fengshan Stadium. We'll have another English broadcast for that. Of course, you can tune into the Mandarin broadcast with Taibao once again. Fans filing back in from the halftime break. Coming over on this side of the floor to take some warm-up shots were the Dreamers, and a number of guys came by, including Rando Walko and Lee Do-wei, who are nursing injuries and making their way back onto the team activities.
Yeah, obviously trying to be a little bit more conservative here in the preseason as we see guys get hurt. Last year, last weekend, Yang Xingzi kind of took an elbow to the face and he's out a little bit. So, again, we're trying to get guys into game shape, into game speed, but you want to make sure that they're ready for the game.
I think Coach Roger also talks about this a lot, that you have to play at a certain intensity in practice to prevent getting hurt in a real game, and that game speed is also something that is like an injury deterrent, injury prevention part of that equation.
Yeah, that's something where coaches have to be aware. Again, with the vets, you kind of know if you have to go 80% in practice, 90% in practice, whatever gets you ready for a game, you know your own pace, but some of the younger guys have to rely on coaches. And that's where it's really tough for these preseason games, especially when you have so many new guys and new teams and new imports, new systems. So I don't envy these coaches, especially half of them coming out of quarantine. But again, the first half's looked fair enough so far. So look forward to the second half.
Players are out, and the Dreamers will start with the basketball. See Tianlei, who retired last season, who joined the front office with the Dreamers operation. On hand to advise. But they start on offense. Aji to the corner. Sun Yin with a dribble pull-up. Banks out.
Yeah, we always see the Dreamers run nice sets out of timeouts. Good action there. Not able to get the shot on the initial action off that hammer, but again, nice putback by the Dreamers import.
Pilots figuring out their offense as Pom Pom fouled on the underneath.
Yeah, a little bit of a hesitation there from Gilbeck. Not sure if we're getting it back to your own or staying with that switch. As we see him get that putback on the other end. Again, we talked about the Dreamers' defenses are always switching. Sometimes between man and zone, and then sometimes between staying with your own and switching. And that's something that some of these new guys on the roster are going to have to figure out quickly if they want to find time on the court.
A long word. Pilots and their coach Tony, while Pom Pom was at the line. Way short with that one. I believe starters for both teams to get the second half going. Calvin to Gilbeck. Finds a crease, missing the first time and missing the second time.
And that's something that's got to be concerning the Dreamers coaching staff, knowing that some of the other bigs in the league are a little bigger than Pom Pom there. Again, he's not going to be able to show his ability to create on the perimeter. It's going to be really tough for Gilbeck to find some opportunities amongst those giants here at the Plus League.
Nice read by Aji, but Calvin misses the foot on the line too. Chen on the baseline, trying to take on Calvin. We'll give it up to Jun Xiao. That one down.
And another assist for Han. Just doing a great job making plays out there for the Pilots. Really been the only player making plays for him today.
He's tied with Wu Jiajun with 5 assists.
I guess he's not the only player then. Sorry, Hayden.
Down to Kenny. A nice cut and a foul on the shot attempt.
Junjun getting cut back door there on that play. Nice foul by Kenny. But again, that's something that we really didn't see from Kenny last year. The ability to step into that mid post. You know the defense isn't going to move too much, but the ability to find cutters down the lane. And again, if that's something that he can figure out this season, it's going to open things up quite a bit.
I've never heard that sound effect on a missed shot. Have you, Coach?
Can't say I was paying attention. But I'm sure that some of these guys will give us another opportunity to hear the sound effects on a missed free throw. Remind me to pay attention.
So far, the Dreamers 10 for 16, and the Pilots 3 for 6 from the line. Dreamers in zone, Pilots. Pong Han shoot the 3, rattles out.
Again, we see the Pilots had success putting Han in the middle of that zone in the first half. This time, Pom Pom being there in the middle. Kenny once again putting his teammates in a position to make a play and being very generous, giving it right back to Kenny. A couple nice plays in the second half here.
The Dreamers haven't tried a lot to lob it to Gilbeck for the dunk. I tried it some more. Zijin Yao, long layup, no.
Yeah, nice job there. Gilbeck just going straight up and down, making him shoot over. If it goes in, so be it.
Calvin on Jackie to Gilbeck, but deflected out of bounds.
And you see Gilbeck once again getting upset. But again, that's something that he's got to learn. The refs aren't going to call that contact. Something where he's just got to be a little bit stronger with the ball, grab it with 2 hands, and anticipate that contact.
I think part of it is he didn't anticipate to get the pass.
And that's where he's got to figure out his teammates. He's got to remember that Calvin is left-handed too. That may be part of it.
Don't often think about left and right-handedness.
It's some guys, you know, if they pass with the left hand, it's going to be ugly. Calvin going to his left is quite good. You see a beautiful pass, and once again, just an assist killer right there by the youngin, still a rookie. Linta.
Put me in a museum. I put my both hands up to my face on that missed layup attempt.
Well, you and the entire Pilots bench.
Can we get a Fang Chang in the comment section? It's another Calvin Gilbeck pick and roll. You lob it to him. Love that outside move on either side. Pressure against Achi leaves Calvin open. He splashes it.
Yeah, good job swinging it a couple times. A little bit of a gamble from that Pilots defense. Dreamers able to take advantage.
He's free for a second. Now asking for it on the post. Rare possession for the youngster to get an ISO. Well, Jackie will fling up the shot well short.
Again, with that zone switching into a man. Tough read for some of the youngins. Again, Lintung not able to make a play.
Tough lay-in by Kenny.
Again, and that's what Kenny's going to give you, those second chance points. Again, you're not really going to need to run plays for him. Energy guy. Okay, Kenny really bringing a nice lift to this Dreamers team here in the second half.
They lead this one by 10. There's an out of bounds on the rebound.
Yeah, Lintung doing a great job sealing the defense as we see once again Kenny. You see Calvin's shot right there, and then Kenny able to finish through contact. But again, these Pilots just missing layups left and right. Really not giving themselves too much of an opportunity here in this third quarter.
Since we're in the South, we probably should add a little bit more cuisine talk to our broadcast. Sometimes air balls are called ba balls. Almost the sandwich equivalent. Pickles, fatty pork meat, making me hungry.
Me hungry too there.
Got some hungry players on the floor. Nice pass by Lee Jack-Hong, and Hayden makes the layup.
Nice job stripping the ball, and then you said it. Everybody hungry for those loose balls and hungry for some points there in transition.
Young left alone, but can't collect the pass.
Once again, we see Kenny with the nice pass. His teammate not able to corral it, but we talked about being eager. Kenny really doing a good job leading these Dreamers here in this third quarter.
Our first time out of the second half means a commercial break. We'll be back in a few.
空档出来了，好的空档你必须要投篮，你呢必须要投篮。好的空档你不投篮，你再往下走可能会变成失误。投篮不进，我们还有机会可以退防，没有关系，啊，明白吗？来讲一下挡拆。
Here and your man is here. You let him pass it out. No, what you deny. Right? You can't let them pass and run. Okay, stay in yellow. Be aggressive. Okay, be aggressive in defensive rebound.
The current full vaccination rate here in Taiwan is at 40%, and I just checked, it's 41% in fact. Get registered and get your shot and be better protected from COVID-19. Here's the behind the glass angle at that, I guess, side baseline to baseline scramble.
It's good we get a couple nice angles of the only layup that the Pilots have made here in the third quarter. What are they, 1 of 4? Hayden able to take advantage of that scramble.
It's not good, Coach.
No. But it's the preseason, right?
It's the preseason. You know, add a little flair with the behind the head pass too by Jackie. that's an interesting note. Jackie, number 12, Lee.com, and Sijiao will roll in the three. Just got to give it to the big dog, right?
Well, we see once again coming out of the timeout, Pan going in the middle of the zone, Pom Pom at the bottom. Again, that's been really successful for the Pilots here today.
As I was saying, Jackie Lee.com is the same, almost the same Jackie Zhang Zhengyu when it comes to their Instagram handle. That actually was a little bit dangerous for the league social media operators, keeping those guys straightened out.
Dangerous, right?
Well, you know, don't want to make mistakes for the French's Instagram likes as Wang Honghan knocks in the bank shot.
But dangerous? What's the worst that's going to happen? You leave too many likes on somebody's IG?
Got a case of mistaken identity, coach.
That's true. I'm an old man, so no IG for me. So speak to the youngins on that one.
There's a reaching foul.
Again, we see Pan just able to create opportunities there from the post.
Nice make by JJ. Like we said, he was over in yesterday's game.
Yeah, great make, but great screen by his teammate there. Just getting enough of eye out to create an opportunity for his teammate.
He tries to answer, and there's a loose ball foul on Wang Honghan. Currently the score is Dreamers 53, Pilots 47. As Gilbeck's in the game, and so is Ray. Taoyuan started last Sunday, scored 7 points on 5 shots and 7 rebounds. Go back to his resume, he was the UVA MVP in 2018. Got a number of those, including Aji. There's an out of bounds by the Pilots.
Poor spacing there on that side, out of bounds. Weak side, you mentioned Ray wide open there, but not able to get it in.
5 minutes left in the third quarter. Gilbeck working with Chen. Patience pays off.
That's what we've seen him be able to do. He's a hard roller. Doesn't matter whether he's able to finish there. Once again, Ray kind of weak there on the help on the weak side. JJ able to sneak it in there around Pom Pom for the easy layup. That's what Hayden's going to give him. Again, he comes out with that burst of speed, takes advantage of the defense reaching in, gets 2 shots from the line.
Mentioned before, 5 assists, only his 3rd point of the game. Make that 4.
That's what he's going to give you. Hayden's more of a facilitator. Again, not a great shooter from the perimeter for those unfamiliar with Hayden. He's somebody who's going to get out on the break, make that early pass on the break, and then he's got a little bit of a float game to him.
Used by Chen, almost is a backdoor opportunity for Jackie, but out of bounds.
That's something that Hayden's going to do. He's going to push the pace. Again, that time on the backdoor, Jackie not able to get both hands on it, but again, he really pushes his teammates and lets them know we got to get up and down.
Hayden also committed 6 turnovers in last week's preseason game as Pom Pom got his hand on it out of bounds.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge for him is going to go going up against the size of the plus. Again, in the SBL last year, the average height is probably not quite what it is up here, so it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for him as well.
Jeff got free for a second, a little too late with the help coming over. Swing pass for all the way shot off iron. Get another opportunity on the long rebound. Kenny drills it.
Again, off that pick and roll where he made the nice pass out. Kenny, once again, more second chance points, showing a much improved offensive game here today.
potato up top. Ray will shoot it too strong. To the corner now. Still no good for all the way. That's Kenny once again finding the lane, and Gilbeck trying to hit him.
You mentioned early, Gilbeck not really sure whether the pass was coming or not, as we see Kenny make this three-pointer off the offensive rebound. That time, Kenny not really knowing if Gilbeck's going to pass or shoot himself. And something that'll come with time and hopefully only get better and better.
I hear coaches all the time say, you got to be ready for the basketball whenever. But a lot of the times, guys are very aggressive to go for offensive rebounds. Kind of messing with that timing game of it all. Timing is everything.
That's where you kind of understand your teammates. You know their spots. You know that if they have the ball here and they dribble more than once, that it's going up. It's just that chemistry that takes some time. You know that guys aren't going to shoot a certain shot, so you got to be ready for the pass. Again, that's really something that we talked about practicing games. People are going 100% in games. Well, at least you hope so. And that's where you're going to really figure out what your teammates are going to do when the bright lights are on.
In an earlier prom, we mentioned how there are now Friday games in the Plus League. So coaches talk all the time about they don't want back-to-backs, but what is supposed to take place on those days off when it comes to recovery and preparation for the Sunday matchups?
I mean, we've talked about adjustments for everybody. There's going to be adjustments for the trainers, for those strength and conditioning coaches. It's something that Taiwanese players really aren't used to. Obviously, overseas, regardless whether in the States or in Europe, there's a lot more variation in some of these schedules. But in Asia, it's mostly, you know, Saturday, Sunday, maybe 3 games in a row. I mean, a lot of these tournaments over here, they'll play 8 games in a row, 9 games in a row. So for them to have a break in between, we talked about it earlier, players have to know how to get some rest, but also stay prepared for that next game.
Speaking of student games, Coach, I believe you would absolutely not like coaching high school, college level here in Taiwan.
Why is that?
So many consecutive games as Jeff gets free for the steal and bucket.
We saw in that possession the Dreamers once again going zone to man. Gilbeck with a great job picking up the roll on the weak side on the mismatch. And again, we see improvements throughout the game. Again, with another, 3 weeks before the regular season starts. Again, a lot of time to figure things out.
Deflected pass, so the Dreamers get another possession. Jeff controlling the action, will throw right to Ray. And a nice chase down block by Gilbeck, saving his teammate. Open shot for all the way. Loose ball out of bounds off of Kenny. It's one of those situations where you don't want to be the taller player.
Yeah, you mentioned great block there, and that's obviously the speed is something that you're kind of counting on with him going to be a little bit undersized compared to some of these massive giants we have on the other rosters. But again, just nice hustle there in transition. Get that block.
Pilots looking for answers, down by 11. Willingham Bills in the middle. To the basket, Jackie missing the layup.
And that's where you've seen Gilbeck struggle a little bit. Again, the ability or inability is really key once again. Manufacturing points on the break, but Gilbeck's inability to handle guards on the perimeter is going to be something that they have to look at going forward.
Giving extra attention to Ayao. Pushed out of bounds there. 4 team fouls by the Dreamers in the third frame.
You see Kenny once again finding bodies in transition. Hey, Pilots made another layup, Ryan.
They did. You know what the key is? They need Hong Ho-Han making the pass.
Hey, it does help. What's his assist total up to right now?
He's currently at 6 assists. Got a 2-man race going for that lead. Slip pass, and Gilbeck couldn't handle it. Forcing a shot at the seams. Bad transition game by the Pilots on a rare occasion there.
Yeah, Bill looking for a call, but when it's that ugly, yeah, you can't blame the refs for not calling it.
Kenny left free for the shot. Clanks.
And that time we see Jackie with a little bit better help on Gilbeck's roll. Again, regardless of how many threes Kenny's shot so far, it's obviously that these Pilots players aren't going to treat him like a shooter.
Once again, Hong Han going to the inside move and intercepted by Calvin. Chen over 2 Pilots and gets the foul. Brave move there.
Yeah, Ray had been sizing up that charge from half court, trying to get there as we see Gilbeck once again getting into an altercation. You see Ray right there in position. Well, I guess not in position if he got called for the foul, but again, we saw Hines turnover on that last play. That's him getting used to his teammates. Pompong's going to duck in for the score. Bill's going to suck in, or he's going to duck in to occupy the defense and let his teammates get open from the perimeter. That's just something where they're going to have to get used to it.
First free throw is good, bringing Chen Zhenjie's point total. It's a little bit delayed here with the stats, but 2 for 2 is for certain. We're under 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. Ray to Pompong, that right-handed hook. Kind of interesting how the Pilots will go with different guys for the pick and roll, and Pompong more sure-handed. Now it's the Dreamers' turn. Ayo missing on the flyby. Calvin will shoot the corner shot and hit.
Just a defensive turnover there. Pilots trying to foul with 1 foul to give before the end of the quarter. Missed on about 3 opportunities. Calvin able to hit the buzzer beater, leading a nice third quarter here for the Dreamers.
All smiles for Calvin Chang. We'll go to the fourth quarter.
Great job. Great end of that quarter.
做第一件事情，只有2件事情，请你做简单的事情。从第一节讲到现在，还没搞明白吗？
Signage game here in Kaohsiung Fengshan Stadium, where the two, in some ways, visiting teams utilizing the arena to get some preseason workout, preseason run-in. The Dreamers against the Pilots. And later we'll have the Steelers against the Braves. Calvin Chen Lihuan beating the third quarter buzzer. Having a good time here.
Lihuan seems to have fans wherever he goes. Why is that, right?
That's a good question. We need to dive through that more, but got a long track record in the SBL and played with the Lioneers last year. Built up his popularity quite a bit as well.
Good guys, great teammate, somebody that people love playing with. Obviously, he's got a brain on him. So it's good to see him get an opportunity to shine here with the Dreamers.
He flashes, but no basketball as Chen will fire. Hit the back iron. Zhengxiang driving right. Got suffocated by Chen Ziyang.
He's showing a little bit here in these preseason games. Just kind of doing what the coaching staff asks of him. Again, there's a nice roll. Just not able to finish on the layup. He's somebody who's he's creating that contact. He's somebody who's probably not going to get a lot of playing time in the regular season with Derek obviously holding down that local big spot for him. Again, showing some things there. Showing a nice foul there in transition, breaking up the fast break.
He'll head to the bench after getting a hug from Brandon Gilbeck. He takes his place on the floor. That's 4 fouls for Ziyang. 2 made free throws makes it a 10-point game. Give up the scream and Pong Pong crashes into Aji.
Well, that's something that, again, Gilbeck's going to have to take advantage of. Great pace on that screen, able to sprint up. Pong Pong not able to keep up with the speed and not quite able to put the brakes on, creating that foul.
Well, part of that is Aji's shooting prowess. The most accurate domestic true shooter and effective field goal shooter in the Plus League last season.
Just a stat machine there, Ryan.
I had a long summer, coach.
We all.
Pong Pong looking for a teammate. Finally gets it to Hunt. On Kenny once again. Will scoop it up. It'll be called goaltending.
And again, Hand just taking advantage of that mid-post, backing up. And knowing that Pong Pong's waiting behind him, Gilbeck a little bit too late on that block, getting called for the goaltend.
It is certainly theatrical.
Nice lefty block, too.
Have you ever scouted ball players who only block shots with one hand?
Only block shots with one hand. No, but a lot of the best shot blockers are lefties. They're able to get up and bother everybody's shots.
Calvin fouled while maneuvering in the middle of the defense. Against Wu Zhengxiang, who's got 5 personals. Hand coming down just a little bit, I suppose.
I suppose. And that ref, to be able to see that through 2 bodies, better eyesight than I have.
Well, the Chen Lihuan sign getting a lot of attention here.
Bad for the other players. I'm start to get a little bit jealous. Have you seen signs from the other players, Ryan?
I'm looking right now, and not yet. Maybe they have them all at their feet or something, Coach.
I'm sure some of the Steelers should have something for our next game, right?
Oh, one of the pilots have an LED board lighting up a pilot's team ad. That's pretty cool. Zhengxiang counters with a 3.
And that's the scoring prowess that he showed last season in the SBL, Rookie of the Year. Obviously a prolific scorer. They're able to get the steal on the telegraph pass. I'll pay out throwing it in the basket somehow.
No, he had that all the way, Coach.
You know, to be honest, Ryan, Ayal's one of those guys kind of like Luka where they love practicing those circus shots. He'll get them up before practice, after practice. Sometimes he'll do it in the game, and this time it worked out for him.
We'll be back after this break.
Shot me into the night. I was falling down the river, floating into the light. Can't decide if I'm drunk or sober. Energy, bases crawling to my knees. Moving 1, 2, 3. I surrender to the beat. Give it one more breath. Heart is pounding in my chest. Oh yes, you're not rocking with the best.
Thanks, fans, for tuning into the English broadcast of the Plus League. Click on that like button. Our goal is 116. We should get there no problem thanks to Sujiao making, a regular shot, but an awkward shot. Can we say that, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't give a like for this shot, I don't know what it's going to take. Again, that could be a 3.
Huh.
Did he jump from beyond the 3-point line?
Well, he started his paces.
That should be a 3.
Huh. Coach, it's preseason.
Trying to get somebody's attention, but now that I'm not coaching, nobody pays attention to me at all, Ryan.
No way.
Well, they didn't really pay attention to me when I was coaching either.
Oh.
Which is another story. Back to the game.
Well, wait a minute. They're going to the monitor right now.
Yeah,
maybe you want to check that out.
It should be a 3. See, maybe somebody was listening. Maybe it's our broadcasting team who's listening to me.
And they're, of course, close to the IRS system over there.
That is a 3-pointer.
Well, Coach, you can't say nobody pays attention to you. The referees, we shared before the game that you have a number of records here on the Fengshan Gymnasium floor.
No records, but the last game that I coached here in this stadium, I lost, got teed up. Not great memories here, Ryan. Not great memories.
Well, that was not the record I was kind of, well, only part of it was the record I thought, as the referees indicated, will be a 3-pointer made.
See, I know what I'm talking about sometimes, Ryan.
So he jumped from behind the 3 and I guess took the shot at the free throw line.
Well, to be honest, Ryan, I think it's probably 3, but I mean, if you don't call bank, you can take one of those points away. So.
Yeah, are you allowed to do that against a team that has a title sponsor in a bank?
No.
That seems like a serious financial violation.
We are a commercial enterprise. As we see Calvin trying to get those 3 points back, and it's important. Getting a little more excited than everybody else on the team. Again, nice job being able to keep focused through that extended break. And again, that's something where these guys got to remember. Strong left-handed driver. Strong left-handed driver.
That's right. All these penetrating opportunities start with him on the right wing and going middle. Completes the and one with the free throw. Switching out with Kenny's attention. Swing it to the corner. Hayden. To Ray. Aji doing a good job, but that's the corner made 3. No. Jackie with the opening. A little preemptive on my part. Bington and Gilbeck battling down low. They get it to him. Forcing him baseline. Almost a nice lay-in, but his Pilots with the rebound.
That's something where they know that he wants to go over that left shoulder to his right hand. That time forcing him under the basket. Nice job by the rookie. Just not fouled.
Now Hayden, get the sideways maneuver, and Bington will put it in.
great job by Hayden just getting it up on the glass, giving your big an opportunity to get the rebounds. Yeah, close game here in the fourth.
Gilbeck on the right block, doesn't receive it. Well, Achi and Jefu in the game at the same time. Trying to find Gilbeck down low, and Lin Chen was left with fouling the big guy.
Yeah, nice patience right there by Aji on that pick and roll. Again, Lin Chen getting caught on the top side, not seeing the ball. Again, his teammate with a nice little dump pass in there.
And they're checking Calvin out, I'm assuming for possible blood, but he's clear to go. It's on his shorts. Yang Sen-yen is checked into the game. He retreats to the baseline near us. Calvin will fire from up top, way long. So it's Jackie to Ray. And back to Jackie. Hayden, floater, off to the side once again. An adjustment he's got to make. As Ayao gives it up.
Should have thrown it off the glass.
Sen-yen, all net with that
shot. Again, great job just sprinting to that three-point line. Yang Sen-yen able to hit that three-pointer in transition, leading to this Pilots timeout.
He's got 9 points in the ball game. 3 current Dreamers in double digits. Woo Young-sun, Jeff, also with 9 points, so close to getting those 5 guys double digits. The democratic scoring, as Coach called it.
That's what you want in preseason. Again, you want to get everybody touches, you want to get everybody involved. Again, a team like the Steelers there with some of their younger talent, you want to be able to let their coaches see what exactly they can do. Again, obviously, the Dreamers, Coach probably has a pretty good idea what his rotation is for this regular season, but with a lot of new guys in there, he's got to see how they're going to be able to fit in and contribute. Pilots on the other side, new head coach, a little bit of a tweak in the system. Again, just trying to get everybody minutes, not trying to tire people out too much. That's what preseason's all about.
Even though they have, like Coach mentioned, 6 rookies, their youngest is Jerry Taoyuan at 21 years old. But after that, it's everybody's 23 and older. So, of course, we mentioned the difference in competitiveness and the physicality college to pro. But there is some experience, at least at the UBA level and overseas with the group that the Steelers have put on the floor yesterday, and we'll see for the rest of the season.
Yeah, obviously, every game of experience helps for any of these teams. But you just talked about Hayden. I mean, Hayden's somebody who's been in the SBL in Taiwan for 5 or 6 years, and you know, when he comes up here going against Gilbeck, who's one of the shorter bigs here, again, it's taken a little bit to adjust to that size again. So it's something that everybody's getting used to. But again, excited about what we have here in the plus 2 season.
And trying to find Pom-Pom, but Dreamers were all over that.
Yeah, bad possession there out of the timeout. Just not great spacing and poor timing. Dreamers trying to extend this to a double-digit lead.
Sujiao tries to gamble.
Oh, he didn't try to gamble. He gambled.
He did gamble.
He was trying for the steal.
I guess he was trying to recover.
There
and
you go.
Somehow led to Jeff Wu double dribble, if that's the call.
Yeah, he picked it up, and I don't know what the rules are in China, but you definitely can't do that here in Taiwan.
Something to note is the Pilots don't have any import centers coming up on their roster. Devin Robinson, a forward, Joel Tolbert, the forward, and mentioned John Gillen, a guard, at Han, missing the up top 3.
Yeah, that's something just going to see how this coaches use these guys. Again, with Pong, Li Huang, or with Bill, and with the rookie, Lin Zheng. I mean, they got the size if they want to use them as bigs, or if they want to go small using Tolbert at the 5. I mean, heck, we saw Doug play a little bit of 5 yesterday for the Dreamers, so anything is possible.
Foul on the shot attempt by Gilbeck. A couple pilots in the neighborhood.
And that's something where he's going to have to be aware. Guys are going to foul him hard. And if they know that they're going to be able to get a reaction out of him, they're going to foul him even harder. Again, it's a different ecosystem out here in Taiwan, but it's something that's given us a good product so far.
Makes the first one. Gilbeck went to Western Illinois in 2015 to 19. That's in the Summit Conference.
Well, can you name another school in the Summit Conference, Ryan?
That is a good question that I am stalling to answer, and I will say Salt Lake City University. I could have made a school up.
Yeah, great 3 right there by Jin Chen. Changing the subject very quickly. I have no idea if you're right or wrong because I couldn't tell you.
Give me a quick look at my spreadsheet. Taylor Braun at North Dakota State, also in the Summit League. I guess that's a bad miss on my part. We have yet to meet Mr. Braun, as there's an out of bounds by the Dreamers.
A little bit too much on that pass right there. Nice thought, just bad execution as we see. The reigning Rookie of the Year. We're going to have a lot of conflicting reigning little titles here. Jun Xiang is the reigning Rookie of the Year from the SPL, playing this year in the Plus League.
Plus League Rookie of the Year, Oscar, you can see him next week as Wang makes the elbow shot.
These pilots defensively not really doing a lot of switching. That'll be something to go look ahead to going forward. We don't know. That might be because of the size of Hayden out there. Coaching staff are not wanting to get into too many mismatches, or if that's something that's going to happen once they get their imports onto the court. And again, different coaching staffs, different systems, offensively and defensively.
Pilots out of the baseline. Ayao driving into traffic. Foul first.
Creating something out of nothing there. Not much going on that play. Ayao able to create that contact. But again, just kind of unnecessary fouls there right there.
Pong Pong with a toe tap. And pass right to Jeff. Jay will slow it up for Kenny, working with Liang. Sun Yun shot and splash.
Great contest there by Al, but better shot there. Again, showing some proficiency from the 3-point line today.
Ayao's counter off back iron. The Dreamers playing with a little bit more pace.
Something, if you listen to Coach Julius in timeouts, it's something he mentions every time. So yeah, once again, punishing these Pilots defenders for going under the screens. Stretching it out to a 9-point lead.
Reading the scouting report is quite a thing. High low connection to Pong Pong, easy 2.
Yeah, that's the one connection that seems to have been working this entire game, but again, got to be a little bit concerning here for this Pilots coaching staff. This game's starting to get away from them with locals on the court for them.
Nice drive by Jay Chen, who lays it in. right side. Rattles it home.
And that's just a scatter court issue. Kenny probably not as familiar with the rookie out here. Again, somebody you want to chase out the three-point line, especially in the zone.
Pompong committing another foul, hedging on the pick and roll. Coach, I thought we talked to him and he said he lost 10 kilograms.
Well, looks like he's got to go one more. He probably could have defended that without fouling if he lost 11 kg.
Okay, then. Still some time left in the preseason. A lot of other players making their adjustments, but Yang Se-yin knocking down threes seems like he's been doing his summer homework.
Was that the noise we talked about earlier on the missed free throw, Ryan?
Was that like a deflating balloon kind of situation?
Yeah, something like that.
Coach, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. You're probably looking into those stats, huh?
Well, that was the sound I remember from before.
Then yes, heard that all the time.
Jackie calling for a play, but it's blown up by Jeff. The playmaker, Han, driving, kicking. In the corner, and it's a sucky shot by Lu Jingxiang.
And again, man, regardless whether it's against the zone or man, able to get into the middle of that defense and create. Nice job by the free agent signing for the Pilots.
With after Lu Jingxiang's 21 points is the highest on the team. Nice find by Gilbert. Kenny, no good, and Se-yin with a hustle board.
Man, those are just killers. Have a chance to cut into this lead, give up an offensive rebound. And 2 shots from the line. Tough possession there.
Ayao over-aggressive and committing the foul as we get another look at the corner 3.
Yeah, it's a tough rotation, trying to help in off a corner shooter and then get back out to the same guy. Yeah, nice penetration by the Pilots.
Tenzalone patrolling the sideline as the head coach of the Pilots. Got 2 minutes left in this one. Made free throw by Gilbeck. He's got 4 out of 6 so far in this one. 5 out of 7. Just love it when those numbers add up. I guess total up.
I leave math to you.
High-low, Lington on the other side, lays it in. Back to a 3-point game.
Gray used the pump fake there. Able to use the rim to protect. Yeah, still stuck at a 3-point deficit for the Pilots.
Hand up to pick and roll, and it's going to be called for a moving screen.
Yeah, that's one of those where you got to blame some of it on the guard. Again, starting to move a little bit too early. Ref calling Gilbert for moving a little bit on that screen. Again, chemistry issues. Obviously you worry about, but just have to pay attention and know that that's something you have to work at these next 2 weeks.
Dreamers show pressure, back off. As Yang Se-yin was at the defending the point of attack. Yao over top. The layup bounces out. They'll get another chance thanks to Lington. The movement erased by Gilbeck. Kenny bring it up slowly.
Challenge the last 3 layups. Great job getting into that one.
Once again, Aya coming over for the help. Foul on the strip.
Obviously, when Jung's in the game, as we see Gilbeck with a nice help, he keeps getting caught on the high side. Not really much he can do there other than foul. Gilbeck is starting to assert his dominance here in the post offensively.
Not that it's a true comparison, but one import for the Dreamers, just like how fourth quarters will go down in the Plus League regular season and the playoffs. Missing with the first free throw.
That's right, Ryan. It's been so long, I forgot that there's more than one import on some of these rosters. Everybody's looking forward to these guys getting out of quarantine, getting back into shape, and getting back on the court.
1 for 2 makes it a 4-point lead for the Dreamers. Jackie at the point, waiting for the action to happen. The turnover, switching out. Couldn't corral the pass.
I'm a little confused there. Thought it was off of Kenny, but it's going to be a turnover. Easy call there for the ref.
On this side, Jeff running the point, waiting for Gilbeck's screen. Calvin driving, cutting. Swallowed up by Pilot's defense. And for the second time in 2 games, Gilbeck has called for the unsportsmanlike, but this time of the clear path variety.
And again, that's an easy call over here for the refs. Again, really not going for the ball. Again, 2 guys who got into it in the first half a little bit. That's something that they've tried to take out of the game a little bit. Again, just something that guys are going to have to get used to.
The referees elect to look at the monitor on this one. It's kind of, unfortunately, how the, I guess, levels of severity the IRS comes into play is that you have to call it of a special foul nature to go to the monitor.
Yeah, that's again, same thing as goaltending, but see what the refs make the decision. Again, obviously just trying to break up that fast break, not really going for the ball. Unfortunately for him, it's that really changes everything. It's going to give it a game that once was a 2-possession game. Now the Pilots are going to have a chance to cut it to a 1-possession game here with 35 seconds left.
Yeah, it's tough with the angles that there's no, it'd be very difficult, shall we say, for Gilbeck to get the steal there.
Yeah, I mean, he was just trying to break up the break, but again, it's something where if you don't even get a piece of the ball, it's an easy call for the refs here. Junxiang cuts it to a 1-possession game.
The second game coming up, the crowd is filling in the stadiums and the stands, getting into this one, but 1 for 2 was Lu Junxiang. So he's sitting at 22 points right now. Calvin guarding the inbounds. Home to Jackie, who spins. Will go ahead. Gilbeck with a wild fling and his own hook shot goes down. Timeout Dreamers. Seen that a couple times by Hong Ho Han.
We said it from the outset. People who aren't familiar with his game, just a great utility player, able to get in those hustle plays, able to get that little scoop shot put back in to cut this to a 1-point game.
I put it in the category of Quincy Davis's spinning hook shot in the playoffs. I remember going away from the basket just the same.
I mean, he's one of those undersized guys who in the past, he's played the point, he's played the 4. Just a coach's dream, somebody who's all about winning. Again, showing here that he can help teams win, cutting it to a 1-point game.
Got to give credit to the fans coming into the stadium here in Kaohsiung. We're big time supporting the Steelers in last night's game, no matter the deficit, and now putting a lot of energy into this game where we got 23 and a third seconds left in this one.
Nice little action for the first game of the doubleheader today, Ryan.
Looking better than that second quarter.
With that shit. Oh, yes, you have a breakaway.
We'll forget about it. I don't know what happened.
1, 2, 3. Hey, whoever get it, be strong with it now.
Really good opportunity for both teams. Close game. Not a lot of time left on the clock. It's time to execute, right, Coach?
Yeah, it looks like Pilots are probably going to go for a trap, a steal, and then start to play the foul game. Dreamers deciding to take it out under their baseline, give yourself a little bit more room. At this point, it's going to be coming down to free throw.
Jeff inbounding to Calvin. To Gilbeck. Running out of time and a foul first.
Nice job there, trying to get turnover, trying to get an 8-second call. If you can't get it, make the foul, extend the game. Again, with the player timeouts that they can call here in the fourth quarter, always an opportunity to move the ball into the front court.
After missing 2 shots in the previous trip, Jeff knocks down the first. Maybe not so, just executing the basics. They got Ayo next to Pom Pom trying to block out Gilbeck. Doesn't matter, 2 for 2 from the line. And back to a 3-point game, 3-point lead for the Dreamers.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of play that they call. Right now, the coaching staff meeting. Trying to decide if they're going for 2 or 3.
I'm interested, Coach. Do basketball coaches, have you ever seen them like pull out a pocketbook of a playbook?
Actually, most NBA coaches do have that. They kind of have a little cheat sheet where they have some matchups that they want to go, some plays that they want to run, some plays that they've worked on in practice that they want to use in moments like this. I had kind of that cheat sheet because in these high pressure moments, things that you want to work on, things that you want to run, you may not remember and kind of have to remind yourself. So that's something that a lot of coaches have.
Was it a sheet or an encyclopedia, knowing you, Coach Ben?
And that's the other reason. You kind of have to limit yourself where you got 5 or 6 plays you want to run, but before the game, you kind of decide, here's a play that we can run for a 2, here's a play that we can run for a 3, and then you kind of take that decision-making out of your own head. So, again, every coach has a different style. Some of the head coaches have an assistant drop the play. Again, right there, it didn't look like Coach Tony was drawing up the play himself. It looked like he gave it to an assistant. So every coach is different, every team is different, and every game is different. It'll be interesting to say what they do here.
Before they get into it, I want to go back and when it comes to throwing the ball in from the backcourt or the front court, what are the logistics for the defensive team? Are they told as they go into the timeout, or are they told after the timeout?
After the timeout. So that's something where, again, the team that calls the timeout gets to tell them, but they can tell them late, kind of create that confusion for the defensive team.
Pom Pom catches the inbound, and Jackie tied up by Kenny, and that'll be a jump ball. Blowing up that out-of-bounds play.
Again, Kenny's had a great second half here for the Dreamers. Offensively, most of the third quarter here with a great defensive play. Obviously, being up 3, fouling not as much of an issue. Again, there's a huge debate now whether you're fouling up 3 or letting them get a shot off. I'm sure that Coach Julius probably wouldn't have had them foul quite that early, but it's a moot point as Kenny gets both hands on the ball, creating that jump ball opportunity.
In some ways, that's like the incorrect reading of a scouting report, because the Dreamers will switch everything. So smaller Kenny on a larger Pom Pom. There's your window as the Pilots have to foul and stop the clock.
That's something that this Pilots coaching staff has to get used to. Obviously, they're not as familiar with the Dreamers and how Coach Julius wants to do everything. Again, knowing the veteran broadcaster that you are, Ryan, you know that they're going to switch everything, so there may be some opportunities here. Interesting scene here is Kenny's trying to step into the Pilots huddle and listen to something. not sure how good Kenny's Chinese is. You know, Ryan?
It's supposed to be improving.
Improving. That means nothing. Elliot's Chinese on the Lioneers has been improving for about 8 years. And still about as good as my 2-year-old son. I love you.
Jackie with a head of steam. Out to Xiao. He nails the 3. They got 4 seconds left to decide this one, but Calvin springs free and throws it up. Be the end of the basketball game. Here's a good one in the end. Dreamers pull it out 90 to 88.
Yeah, we can see Coach Julius happy with Calvin just throwing it into the air, running off a couple seconds. Even though for some reason the official score didn't stop the clock after the make, but you know what, Ryan? Preseason.
You know, we saw the same things, Coach. We must be doing this together for a while.
Oh, that worries me. If we're starting to get on the same wavelength, I'm concerned, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. What it is will be a player interview after this one. So fans, stick around, leave a like. We appreciate all the viewers paying attention and giving the Plus League a good look. And Calvin will be the player interviewed, who's setting that up. Like Coach mentioned throughout the game, everybody's kind of figuring out their own roles and kind of taking what they've been working on all offseason in head-to-head scrimmages and kind of applying it to an opponent who's trying to beat them with all their might.
All their might.
All their might. But it is, after all, the preseason.
It is, but again, we've seen a lot from Calvin just getting used to his teammates and getting used to the Plus League in a different uniform.
Calvin's standing by, and we'll get to hear him speak to our Mandarin commentators.
其实我觉得大家还在磨合，因为我们说真的，我们人员到齐到现在都还没到齐嘛，都还在磨合。然后我们打的练习比赛也很少，所以我们大家真的是还在互相适应。但我觉得是越来越好，从第2场就比第1场好很多。
The adjustment period is still ongoing.
对。
Asked about the performance of Gilbeck.
我觉得他渐入佳境了，对啊，但是就是我说的，我觉得是默契上磨合的问题。那会越来越好，我相信会越来越好。我们对他很有信心。
The entire team that they need to work him into the system too.
我觉得今年的强度真的很强啊！你看，包括领航员，他们补进了巨强，今天表现得非常好。红汉、大汉今天表现得也非常好。我觉得真的今年的强度是真的很强。然后我觉得我很期待今年的比赛。
Really up there this season between all the teams involved. So thanks to Calvin for joining them, and now the Braves can get going with their layups as we bring you the second game coming up. Coach Ben and Ryan signing off from this game. Thanks for watching.
Go 各位现场的雄青，各位现场的球迷，待会在5点钟的时候，我们要举办的是我们的今天的第2场赛事，将由台北富邦勇士来出战我们的地主高雄钢铁人。在这之前，球团很用心的准备一段影片，要送给我们高雄的球迷们，就让我们一同来欣赏这段在地文化的影片。
Preseason 第1年的时候就有在看，那时候其实从没有想过高雄会有自己的一支球队。那其实 Preseason 的出现，其实已经对台湾整个职业篮球是一件很好的事情，因 也对那些爱打篮球的比较年轻的同学啦、学生他们的未来多了一个机会。那现在还有更健全的北中南都有球队的话，我觉得它是变成是一个很好的产业，它也是真的能称得上所谓的叫做职业。那更何况今天他有来到我们凤山主场，就在这里钢铁人，那我也是很开心，因为我已经看篮球这么久了，你从来没有想过自己的城市会有自己代表的球队，那我会觉得说一定去支持钢铁人，然后到体育馆去支持，入场去看，然后帮钢铁人加油。
当然因为球季快开始打了，然后当然自己是希望可以跟上大家的脚步，然后跟上职业球队的 DJ 的脚步，然后把这个工作把它做好。当然这种事情是需要努力的，那我也就尽力了，全力以赴。
其实说真的，高雄是一个很热爱运动的城市。那不管今天的环境是怎么样，我们还是坚持我们所热爱的，然后持续的去努力前进推动它这样子。喜爱篮球，甚至是热爱篮球的人，听到说高雄要成立职业运动的时候，大家是非常的期待，而且是到处跟朋友讲说，我们所热爱的运动现在在高雄要发展起来。那当然就是准备。
Our recap before the final event here in Kaohsiung, Coach Ben and Ryan Chen on the English broadcast. We're going to look at the team combined stats, but Coach, real quick from you, which individual player impressed you the most in today's matchup?
Can I take two?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, Kenny, great second half offensively in the third quarter, fourth quarter, stepping up defensively with the key turnover. And then Calvin, again, interviewed after the game, he talked about it. New situation, new teammates, again, fitting in more and more every game, helping the Dreamers get the victory over the Pilots.
Kenny with 13, Calvin with 17. On the other side, Lu Junxiang, some guy that I talked to Sean Chen about, the general manager for the Pilots, and he said, looking forward to a big season from him. Coming up next is the final here in Kaohsiung. They take on last year's Plus League champions, the Taipei Fubon Braves. It'll be a big test as they'll be playing with two import bigs after facing Gilbeck in Saturday's game. Next week, keep talking about it, November 20th and 21st is the Plus League's third and final stop of the preseason. We start with the Kings against the Dreamers, Lioneers against the Braves on a Saturday. 2 games to start things off, and then it'll head to a Sunday where the 2 new teams face off, then the Braves Pilots before the finale of the Plus League preseason in the Formosa Dreamers against the Hsinchu Lioneers. A lot of basketball before officially the Plus League begins. Thanks fans for joining us for this broadcast and all other broadcasts. On behalf of Coach Ben, signing off on this one, we'll see you soon.